enjoy the movie. I just want to acknowledge a few people. Ava Next, who they've been really helpful mobilizing the Venezuelan community to be here at Cocotero Restaurant. Chef Carlos, obviously Louis, Jim Angelopoulos, and whomever I'm forgetting right now. Thank you, and let's go for a beer after. Thank you.
I'm gonna miss that. Sunsets in Texas are like no other.
My name is Theo Luis Perego Moreno, and I'm privileged to have had Fanny to ask me to share some questions. You come from Venezuela. You go to the University of Colorado in Denver. You're living in LA. The story actually you made set in Venezuela.
Yeah.
And then it finishes in Texas.
Yeah.
So tell us about that journey.
I wrote a script about a woman who lived here and she had to move back to Venezuela. But that was really expensive, that movie that I wrote. And
But everything's so much bigger in Texas.
yeah, so the actor, the lead actor, he's from Texas, and he said, why don't you set it here? And I visited and it was like, it would totally work. It's about someone coming home and appreciating home and coming back to, like, you can't go home. Yeah, no, it's like, that's sort of what it came from. And I was very committed to making a movie about American Latinos without the stereotypes. I just wanted to tell a story that would somehow challenge any stereotypes that I encountered when I moved to this country and I was told, you're a Latina. I'm like, okay, I didn't know till I moved here. So stuff like that's where it came from. Making a movie about us and also, like appreciating where you come from. That's what it's about.
I mean, as a Latino, as a Latina, this is a Latino story, but it has universal implications because at the end of the day, it's a family story. It's a story about love. So what was that impetus?
Yeah, definitely wanted to make a movie that was universal and anybody could relate to. You didn't have to be from Texas to get it. We all have a dad or a mom, and sometimes we don't get along. And a lot of people leave home to find riches. I did. So I wanted it had to be something that everyone could relate to, and that's been, every screening that we've had people of all groups, and they're like, hey, that reminds me of my dad, or I know somebody who died of cancer, or I'm from Texas, whatever, or I'm from Venezuela. So people relate to it in different levels. So to me, that's a success, when people can relate to it.
If I had to tell you, you can only be one thing, and you wore so many hats.
No.
Writer,
No,
director,
I refuse.
producer, actor, and you had to only pick one. What are you?
See, I'm everything. No, I'm an actor. I've been an actor since I'm 3. But yeah, I'm an actor. But I direct because there's not a lot of stories for us, and I do have a degree in acting and directing. And I had a professor that encouraged us to write for ourselves and for other actors. So I don't think I have to choose.
No, but it's just interesting to hear that your passion is that of an actor.
I'm an actor.
Though I would also say you were also a very good director.
Thank you.
That really came out loud and clear. And so, since there are such few female directors in the industry, and even less Latina directors,
I think I know all of them personally.
I think what really struck me when I said, what message are you sending out to Latina directors, and what do you see as the future of female directors, that you actually said you did this for your 2 sons, and you wanted them to get that message.
You just wanted me to cry. I have 2 sons. One is 15, the other is 12. And yeah, I'm really, when they grow up, I want them to go to the movies or turn on the TV and they see people that look like them playing the lawyer and the successful guy and the family guy and the teacher and not just, the gangbangers. Like, enough, okay? We've seen that story. That's not all that we are. I want them to be proud. So, yeah, that's what keeps me going, because it's been really, really hard. So it's like, okay, it's not about me. It's about, my kids and your kids. I'm kind of philosophical that way, otherwise I would have quit already.
What surprised you the most in making this film?
The generosity of people.
How about that?
This town, and I think there's people here from El Campo. The son of the nurse, are you here? Stand up! He's the son of
The nurse.
the nurse. They opened their doors, to a point where it's like someone says to me one day, do you need a helicopter? I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? I get aerial shots in my first feature. That's so, people would show up to set with food and, we didn't pay a single extra. We didn't pay for a single location. And all I said is like, I'm making a movie for us, about us, And people were moved. And I get impressed every single day. The fact that you're all here, that so many of you, we've toured this movie to 8 major cities in, commercial theaters with no money because I don't have any financial support yet, right? So just the generosity. And, and I know that I'm very persistent, but you don't have to say yes, and you're all here, So the it's just amazing. I feel like the project is blessed in every stage of it. So I'm blown away.
Just 2 more questions before you get to your after parties, and I know you're having 2 after parties, one in the neighborhood and one downtown.
Yeah, he's the expert.
We'll get that going. What I'm curious about this whole TUGGs movement. That is how you've taken this film.
Yeah.
That you've done, as you said, through crowdsourcing. You raised money to make the film. And then the problem is in distribution, how do we get it out to the people? And share with us, how did you bring it to New York?
Yeah, it's pretty incredible, the power of social media. It has given us a voice, artists, and power. So, we raised money for the film mostly through crowdfunding, which means a lot of people gave us a little bit of money. Oh, it's alive. Hello? Okay. And then, my parents helped a lot, and the town helped a lot, and many, many, many fundraisers. So when I went for distribution and I was told, no, you don't have a star, we can't distribute your movie. I'm like, Enrique Castillo, in my book, is a huge star, all right? But anyway, I said, you know what, I'm gonna go back to the community and say, listen, you helped me make this movie, how about you help me distribute it, So I've been going from city to city. The way that it works, and you all know by now, is that it doesn't cost me anything to bring the movie, but I just have to pre-sell the tickets and show to the theater that there's a demand.
And what was the minimum amount you had to
For
sell?
this one, it changes per town. For this one, it was like a lot. It was like 100, like 90. But some towns are 70. It depends, But it's around that. And it's just allowed many filmmakers that I know as well that are doing it to just, And it's also a way to promote the movie, So when it comes out on DVD or Netflix and stuff, you'll know about it. Even if you didn't come, you probably heard about it from the campaign. So it's pretty cool, TUGG.com. Yeah.
And my last question before we break is, now that you are a bona fide filmmaker, we know you're an actor, now that you're a bona fide filmmaker, what is the advice you would have for anyone who would go into this insanity about writing a film, about producing it?
Yeah.
What advice would you give people to either avoid or to make sure that they do, so that they don't suffer so much in the process?
You're gonna suffer. Just accept it. I cry every day. I called you crying. I just need 20 tickets.
And we're here.
Why aren't you buying them? Yeah. Best advice is really come up with a mission that's bigger than you. That you can accomplish by yourself. Just something that lights you up in the morning, and you're gonna go for it no matter what. That's one. Second is like, don't wait around for people to give you your big break. You gotta create it. That's just the reality of it. And just surround yourself with really good people, man. Be humble and grateful. I'd say no matter what dream you got, just be humble and grateful. Have a vision and don't wait. Just start creating, start creating, start creating.
So before we send her out with her fans and her supporters, Fanny has copies of her DVD.
Yes.
If you'd like to take one to share with your loved ones, she's selling them tonight afterwards outside for $14.99. You'll get an autographed copy. But we really have to say thank you for sharing a wonderful story that makes us proud as Latinos and lovers of Latino culture. Gracias, Fanny.
I don't want to make this into a political thing, but I am from Venezuela. I am here.
Viva Venezuela!
Viva Venezuela. I kind of made this film because I wanted, I can't go back to my own country, and I don't want that for anybody. So this is why I made this movie. So go talk to Janet and come buy a DVD and let's have a drink.
Yay!
Thank you all.